Powerful families run Westeros. Some rose high, and others fell hard. Their stories are full of drama and shocks. In this video, we'll trace every house from its roots, through its peak, to its final fate. That keeps the whole tale clear and easy to follow. Back in Valyria, the Targaryens were middle-ranked dragon riders. They were rich enough, but not the top dogs. Daenerys the Dreamer foresaw Valyria's doom, so her father grabbed the family, 5 dragons, their gold, and fled to bleak Dragonstone. 12 years later, the doom hit and wiped Valyria off the map. The Targaryens owned the last living dragons just like that. Instant upgrade from meh to massive. A century later, Aegon Targaryen got tired of his small island. He was with his sister wives and 3 grown dragons headed west. At the Field of Fire, his dragons burned 2 armies in minutes. The remaining kings saw that and knelt. Aegon melted their swords into the Iron Throne. He then founded King's Landing, and he ruled a united Westeros. King Jaehaerys marked the family's peak. For 50 years, they got good roads, fair laws, and dragon patrols that kept the peace. Yet dragons can bite their own. During the Dance of the Dragons, rival heirs clashed and the beasts killed each other. Half the family fell, and most dragons with them. After that, later kings clung to power through shady deals and raw fear. Things collapsed under Aerys II, the Mad King. His cruelty sparked Robert's Rebellion, which slew Prince Rhaegar and drove Viserys and baby Daenerys into exile. Folks assumed dragons were finished, until Dany hatched 3 eggs on a funeral pyre. The Targaryen saga wasn't over, it only needed fresh flame. Winterfell rests on hot springs, yet the Starks embody hard winter grit. They claim descent from Bran the Builder, who was the first man said to have raised Winterfell and the Wall. For thousands of years, they ruled the North as an independent realm. There were no dragons and no gold, only steadfast bannermen, and the warning that winter is coming, which was Stark code for stay ready. Their boldest move followed Aegon's conquest. King Torrhen Stark led a vast army south, saw 3 dragons poised to roast him, and chose to kneel. Dubbed the King Who Knelt, he spared his forces and remained Lord of Winterfell. He put honor above pride. Classic Stark. Jump ahead to Lord Ned Stark. He helped Robert Baratheon throw out the Mad King. For that, he kept charge of the North and gained the King's friendship, hoping for a calm life right until the capital asked for him. Don't leave yet, as the next part flips everything. Ned tried to clear up Lannister lies by telling the plain truth. That backfired. They chopped off his head in front of everyone, and the War of the 5 Kings began. Things got ugly. Robb Stark became king in the North. He won every fight, yet still lost at the Red Wedding. Winterfell went up in flames, and the Stark kids ran for their lives. Strangers took over the North, and it felt like game over. But the North never forgets. Bran lived on past the Wall. Arya learned killer tricks and new faces. Jon Snow pulled the Wildlings and the Northern Lords together. Sansa beat Littlefinger at his own game. Together, they took back Winterfell and crushed the Boltons, and by the end, Bran sits on the throne of a new 6 kingdoms, while Sansa rules a free North. The family that says winter is coming showed they can survive any storm. House Lannister started with a trick. Lan the Clever scared or sweet-talked the Casterlys out of their cliff home, then found real gold in the nearby hills. From then on, the lion's roar sounded like clinking coins. Jump to Tywin. He used gold to harden the family into the scariest power in Westeros. Grumbling bannermen vanished, and the mines never slept. Casterly Rock shone as a threat. His big move was wedding Cersei to King Robert, which bought the throne on credit. Those royal IOUs will hurt later. At their peak, the Lannisters seemed untouchable. Tywin ruled behind the scenes, while Robert chased boars. Jaime won every joust, and Cersei had 3 blonde kids. People cheered, thinking Crown and Rock were locked together. Then the gold lost its glitter. Ned Stark sniffed out the truth about those blonde kids. Jaime lost the sword hand that made him famous. Tyrion shot Tywin with a crossbow, while Tywin was on the toilet. Cersei lit wildfire to save herself and mostly burned friends. The Iron Bank called in its loans, and the Rock's gold seams ran dry. In the end, the books dripped red. Myrcella is poisoned, Tommen jumps, and Jaime and Cersei die under falling stones. Only Tyrion lives. He pins his hope on a Targaryen queen, not the Rock. The vault doors stay shut, but the roar inside is down to a whisper. All those unpaid debts are ready to roar back. House Baratheon burst in like a noisy stag, proud and eager to stomp its mark on history. Orys Baratheon kicks things off. He fought beside Aegon the Conqueror, maybe even shared his blood. The sort of mate who torches a kingdom with you before he asks what's for lunch. In the last fight with the Storm King, Orys killed him. He then wedded the princess and nailed the dead king's antler banner on Storm's End. One duel, one wedding, and boom. A fresh dynasty as fast as Dragonfire. Jump 300 years. Robert, Ned Stark, and Jon Arryn fight with hammers and hard honor. They crack the Mad King and crush the Targaryens, and sit Robert on the Iron Throne. Robert also scoops a shiny extra by marrying Cersei Lannister, the promised princess. For a short and bright spell, the stag's antlers cover the entire realm. But what if the new king hates paperwork even more than dragons? Get ready. Robert drinks, hunts, and lets Littlefinger fiddle with the books. The Baratheon brothers split. Stern Stannis sulks on Dragonstone, while Slick Renly hosts parties at Storm's End. Robert faces and loses his life to a boar. The throne turns into savage musical chairs with nothing but swords. A shadow fells Renly, and snow and dragonfire break Stannis outside Winterfell. By story's end, the bloodline seems gone until Gendry, Robert's friendly Smith bastard, is suddenly legitimate. He gets Storm's End with a worn-out banner and no gold at all. The antlers still rise, but the new lord must show why anyone should follow a stag, while dragons, wolves, and lions prowl the woods. House Tyrell rises fast, falls even faster, yet still leaves a sweet scent. Harlan Tyrell was a steward. He saw King Mern Gardener burn on the field of fire. Harlan looked at Aegon's dragons and then opened Highgarden's gates and swapped his broom for a golden rose. In one day, the butler became a lord, giving the Reach a new ruling house. Soon, Highgarden fed half the realm with grain, wine, olives. If it grew, the Tyrells taxed it. Their coffers swelled, and only the Lannisters had more gold. Lady Olenna, who was sharp as a thorn, guided the family at court. Her granddaughter Marjorie gathered royal fiancés like tapestries. It started with Renly, then Joffrey, then Tommen. 3 crowns for one bride. For a while, the realm smelled like fresh bread and summer roses, and a Tyrell future seemed certain. Cersei packed Marjorie, Sir Loras, many Tyrell cousins, and other foes into the Sept of Baelor. Wildfire exploded. Green flames filled the sky, and the Tyrell family turned to ash. Olenna fled to Dorne, raised one last cup, and said to tell Cersei it was me. Even in death, the Queen of Thorns struck back. Highgarden's orchards still ripen under gentle Reach suns, but no Tyrell stands there. Lesser lords fight with papers and spears for the empty seat. Gold still flows and roses still bloom, yet the banner that once scented the realm now flutters like a ghost on an empty wall. Now, 8 house symbols fly past in under a minute. Each twist ends someone's favorite hero. The Arryn Falcon lives in the Eyrie, a clifftop castle so high even dragons feel dizzy. Lord Jon Arryn's death pulled the story's first thread. Now young Robin holds the banner with his hands shakier than the goat paths under the castle. Far south in Hot Dorne, the Martells still brag that Aegon never broke them. Their mantra stayed true right up to the day Cersei's pet mountain smashed Princess Elia. Oberyn wanted payback, but the mountain kept his own eyes and crushed Oberyn's. Pride lives on in Dorne's red sand, but its princes die on other people's spears. Sail west and you meet salt, iron, and hard sorrow. The Greyjoys raid. The sea taught them that. Balon's failed revolt killed 2 sons. His brother Euron returned with wild gods in his head and a burning fleet. Yara hangs on to what's left. The sea sometimes gives, but mostly takes. House Tully once backed every rebel worth a wager upriver. Then Edmure's wedding ran red, and River Run changed hands like a pawnshop ring. The trout still leaps, yet the river glints with Lannister gold. Up north, the Boltons use a flayed man's sigil for a reason. They stabbed the Starks, took Winterfell, and met justice when Ramsay's hounds ate him. The Freys ran the Lone Bridge for miles and took payment in coins and betrayals. Walder's bloody feast worked until Arya baked his sons in a pie and erased the Frey name. On Rough Bear Island, the Mormonts give up comfort for loyalty. Gior left his lord's seat for a black cloak. Young Lyanna speared a giant and then died, leaving the Bears with honor but no heirs. Down in rich Reachlands, stern Randall Tarley drilled his troops to clockwork, winning battles but losing friends. Daenerys Dragonfire wiped out his line. Unless Sam, the book lover who holds the Valyrian sword Heartsbane, can change that ending. That's it for this video. If you like, you can now check out the other cool video that's appearing on your screen. Click on it to see. Go ahead, click it.